And apparently we're live. And welcome to the Drink and Click show. My name is Juan Gonzalez. I'm the founder of Drink and Click. And I'm here with my co-host, Sarah. Sarah, say
Hi
hi. And Sarah, Sarah works at Precision Camera. She does she's the director of social media from Precision Camera, which is the largest camera store in Texas. Yeehaw!
guys.
Yeah, exactly. And they do a pretty cool thing. Is we partner with them, so we are able to take cameras out and then review them. And actually, we're taking um, cameras out for the drinking clicks, even though we don't have camera manufacturers on the events. We can take a camera and a loaner, and then take it out for the drinking clicks, and people can try them, and then just give it a shot, and then um, see what they can do with the camera. But tonight we are going to review the X-Pro 2, the Fuji X-Pro 2, which is an awesome camera.
What lens do you have on yours? The
I have
35?
I have the 35 1.4.
Cool. I got
And
got the
which
56
one?
on mine.
Is that the 56?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the 56. Is that the expensive 56 or the regular?
Oh, it's the regular. I don't need
Okay.
that video lens.
Yeah, no, the expensive 56 is just like give you a little bit more creamy
Yeah.
look out, but I can't tell the difference.
I was like, I adore the bokeh off this lens. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it getting much better.
No, and it's a great lens. It focuses very fast, and it's a good lens. So I like what it can do, and I like the 35, the 1.4 I have right here on the X-Pro.
Yeah. I just got rid of my 35 1.4 a few weeks ago. I'm gonna get the 35 f2, I think. The weather.
Why are you thinking you're gonna get that? Just for the weather seal?
I need weather sealing really bad. So I own a XT1, and I get caught at too many shows and events and music festivals where even just slight drizzle forever, like for hours, makes me really nervous. And the focus is a little bit faster, and the size is so good too. So
I heard that it's a little bit smaller, weather sealing, and if you see the difference from F2 to F.
Yeah, I mean there's a little bit, but I mean it's already kind of a wide-ish angle anyway. I mean it's not super wide. I prefer it. It's smaller. It's cheap.
Yeah. So you own different cameras? You don't only have Fuji. I think you're also a Nikon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I have my Fuji setup is my XT1 and my X100T, and I have the 56 on my XT1, and then I have the D750 from Nikon.
How do you like this D750? Has that given you any? I know there's been some recalls.
Mine actually needs to be sent back. It's totally on the recall list, but I just haven't done it.
And that's just for the glare thing, right?
Yeah, which I have yet to experience. I probably honestly won't do it because I don't know that I don't know that I can be without my camera that long.
No.
So
and that's what people were saying. It's like it's a recall for something that you can barely. It'd be rare if you get the actual effect.
Yeah.
They were talking about. So
yeah,
if you send it back, send it back. But
yeah,
and of course you probably need it because you shoot a lot of concerts and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, ironically enough, I got it because I mean it's awesome during concerts like default, but shooting with my Fujis, there were a few times it fell short in autofocus, especially low light, and not even like concert stuff, like just events like party pictures, everyone get together, let me take your picture kind of thing. And I can't have something that hunts. But that's something that is supposed to be fixed on the X-Pro 2, and I've heard a lot of good stuff about how their new focus system
Yeah, I don't know if I figured out how to focus on low light because I'm always drinking and being at night and shooting at low light.
That can definitely affect it.
Yeah, but then I always look for the contrast line, the hairline or something, and then try to focus into that. And I don't have many issues with it. So for the people that are watching, we're gonna review the X Pro 2 from Fuji, which is the flagship from Fuji right now.
Hmm.
And it's a pretty nice camera. I mean, the pricing on it is the body only, I think it's 1,700 or
Yep. 1699.
1,699.
Hmm.
And I'm sure that as soon as the X Pro 2 comes down, the price for this one is probably going to drop $200. So that's usually what they do. But
Yeah, they price them high with the anticipation. I think that they're gonna put them on sale.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What I like about the camera, I think it's a very good ergonomics on it. I think it feels good. I mean, I don't have small hands like Donald Trump. Sorry. Decent hands, and then you can just actually. Oh, Ari.
Hi, Ari.
You're joining.
Oh.
There you go, man. So we're talking about the X Pro 2. We're giving a few reviews on it. It does look and feels like not like a heavy camera. It feels good on your hand.
It's hefty. It's like it's a big solid camera for sure.
Exactly. What I like
definitely bigger on the mirrorless side compared to.
So if you talk for the size, I think the Olympus you're referring to a smaller mirrorless camera, and I think this is in the midway on the mirrorless. What I like about it is the viewfinder is up to the left side, which is like a rangefinder, so you don't have to kind of smooch your nose onto the actual screen. You can actually shoot on that side. Well, if you shoot left eye, then you're screwed. But what I like is that it's a pretty cool, simple camera that you can just take everywhere, do really good street photography with it. Were you able to shoot with it lately, Sarah?
Not very much, just because we can't keep them in stock. we get the equipment and then they all just disappear. So I think we have finally gotten over that hump. We have quite a few units in stock, and we put a new demo out. So I got to shoot it today. I was hoping I'd be able to shoot it a few weeks ago at a festival, but that festival was canceled, so it didn't happen. But I got to shoot it around my apartment complex today, and the dynamic range on this guy is very, very impressive. You can definitely tell kind of a difference in the sharpness a little bit too. Having more resolution makes a difference for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think I'll always be a fan of the SLR style. So I don't know that I'm going to purchase an X Pro 2, but I'm kind of holding out to see what Fuji comes out with next. But I mean, it's solid. I really like it. I mean, it's a huge improvement over the X Pro 1 and pretty much every regard.
I have some friends that had the X Pro 1, and then when this one came out, it's like there is a huge difference in between. And before we continue on the show, Ari, since you're on video and camera and you join us, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do and anything else, your website or what kind of photography you do and everything?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear
you. Okay. So yeah, sorry, my connection seems a little weird. Okay. Yeah, well, my name's Ari, and I also work at Precision Camera. I'm one of the salespeople there, but I also do specialize in video, and Sarah and I shoot videos together. She's the performer and reviewer, and I'm the the person that just is behind the camera and edits, and we get it done. And yeah, I would say rather than promoting myself, rather would promote our YouTube page, which is Precision Camera on YouTube. I don't remember, what is it, YouTube /
Yeah, it's youtube.com/PCV Austin.
Yeah, there you go.
And then if you go to see any of the videos they have there, they're doing a fantastic job with all the video. I'm so impressed with this side of the production of it, what Ari's doing, the way he's recording it, the sound, the video, the editing, everything. And Sarah's doing a fantastic job just presenting the camera, telling us what is good, what is not good about it. I think Precision has step it up, and it will be. I really think it's going to be one of the next YouTube channels to watch, in addition to Drink and Click. And for new cameras that come out, it's just they're doing a fantastic job with the videos. So if you
Thanks.
haven't subscribed to it, you know, Ari does the videos, Sarah does the presentation of the cameras and details. So you should subscribe to it and then take a look at what they're doing because it's fantastic. So let's talk about the X-Pro 2. The X-Pro 2 is the flagship of Fuji Films. And make sure that when
Hello?
I don't know what happened.
Oh no. Juan, are you there?
yes.
Uh-oh. Okay, all better.
Okay. So the camera is it has a 24 megapixel sensor, and it's the X-Trend 3. So the X-Trend 1 was the one that was on X-Pro 1, right?
Correct.
And then the X-Trend 2 was on the XT1.
Pretty much everything after that, for the most part.
Okay.
So, XE2, X100S, X100T. So I can't remember what's in the XE1. I think it was also they've been using the X-Trans 2 sensor for most of their cameras following the initial lineup. But yeah, so this is their first Mark III. So we have a brand new processor and a brand new. I mean, we have brand new everything. We have a brand new sensor. We have a brand new autofocus system, brand new processor, which gives us better low light capabilities. I mean, everything is brand new.
Yeah, and you can see that a lot of people say, so do I get the XT1 or do I get the X-Pro 2? What I like about the XT1 is that you have the tilt screen. What I don't like about the XT1 is that the viewfinder is right in the middle, so I always have to clean the screen if I have to show somebody what I just shot.
Same here.
Yeah, and it's very, very annoying to do that. What I took the X-Pro 2 to Prague, and I was there for 5 days. And then I took it one night to Paris, and I shot it here in Austin, and it's a fantastic camera for street photography. It's just small, very quiet. It focuses fast during the day. During night, you have to know how to focus. You can use the autofocus button in the back, the autofocus lock, which is the button right here. And then it seems to focus faster if you use that on low light. So that might be something that you can use. What I like about it is the electronic viewfinder is beautiful. Everything looks fantastic on it. There's no flickering on it. There's no noise on it. And I like that you can just switch it to optical mode. You know, it's just rangefinder. Go ahead.
Well, one thing I did want to say, though, I noticed it on this guy, and I noticed it. It's the same thing that happens in my X100T. The viewfinder represents exposure really well. It doesn't always represent, well, for the most part, it doesn't always represent the blacks that well. Have you noticed that? Sometimes it's a little muted, and then I look at the back. Maybe this one's funky, and I just need to. I mean, we just took it out of the box before I got to play with it, but because on my X100T, I almost know how to shoot in the viewfinder when I'm using it electronically, and I have to shoot knowing that what I'm seeing up here isn't always what I'm going to get. Just a little bit. It's usually a little bit muted on. It's weird.
Oh, it's strange because I usually when I see on the viewfinder is what I'm gonna get unless you have a film profile on.
Well, and see, maybe that's what it is. I always shoot with either Classic Chrome or Pro H. I'm never not in one of those profiles.
Yeah, and I like it a lot. I think I was telling Sarah before we went live that if I get any other camera, I'd probably keep the X-Pro 2 as one camera that I'm gonna keep for a long time, just because it's a very good camera.
I've heard this question before.
You haven't read it?
Sony A6300 versus X-Pro 2. Gosh. Well, see, now it's like, do I go with just my bias because I like Fuji cameras and how they feel in my hands? I mean, I think the A6300 clearly has Fuji still beat as far as video capabilities. I mean, you're talking 4K, you're talking log profiles, you're just, I mean, just every sense of the word way better in video. They're two totally different experiences, though. I don't know. The A6300, this is going to be a terrible word to use, but it feels like futuristic point-and-shoot-ish in my hands when you compare it to something like a Fuji that is emulating a classic camera style. So, I mean, I feel like this is one of those instances that if you're just getting the cameras to make pictures, this is why you come to a camera store like Precision and you touch them and you feel them and you see, because you cannot know how you're going to like it until you pick them up.
I wish they would.
Go ahead. Yeah, Eric, I wanted to get your opinion too, since you sell also in Precision. You know exactly when somebody comes and tell you, okay, I want to look at the X-Pro 2 and I want to look at the Sony. Those are the two APS-C flagships for both brands, pretty much right now. So, what do you tell them?
Well, I was just gonna say, my opinion, I really like the technology behind the A6300, but I will say that when it comes to aesthetics, the Fuji is just by far it's just something that I like better, and I like the handling better. So that's a hard one. Yeah, I mean, just like what Sarah pointed out, I mean, it's really all about the ergonomics and how that works with you, and I mean, what you're shooting.
I think there's no doubt that Fuji's image quality is, I wouldn't say superior, but I mean, neither of the cameras fall short by any means, but even just the type of pictures they produce are different, you know? I mean, having the film profiles, a lot of Fuji shooters, myself included, shoot JPEG, right? Because the JPEGs are just so pretty out of the camera, and I barely have to do any tweaking at all. Whereas a Sony, if I were to have a Sony, I'm fairly certain I would shoot RAW the same way I shoot RAW on my Nikon, because it is a Sony sensor, and because they're so flexible, and they're so dense. So, I mean, they're just two very different cameras.
Even though they're APS-C, the same size as sensor, I think they're very different. I think you're correct with the way you shoot it. And a good example is that I went this weekend and I volunteered to take pictures on a camp for several palsy kids. And I volunteered there, and I just set up the camera to JPEG. And the reason why I set it up to JPEG is because I wanted to use the classic Chrome feature or the film mode on the X-Pro 2, and it was like just shoot, and when I came back to my computer and downloaded all the images, I was like, there is no need to. The only thing I needed to tweak was the exposure. If I was underexposed or overexposed in one image, but the colors and the classic look that I like to give to my pictures or age look, I didn't need to do it because it was already being recorded on JPEG, and Fuji does such a good thing with it. So that's what I'm happy about it. So let me tell you a little bit more about the camera so you can see it. The way the camera works, it has the dials right there, all retro looking. It has the exposure compensation dial here, which is one thing that I would like to say to Fuji. If they can make this dial lock by either having a button on the top, I think it would be fantastic, because I find myself sometimes that I'm shooting and then I look back and then it's under either +1 or down and -2. So I always have to look at that dial and make sure it's on 0. And then the other thing is the shutter speed. It goes to 8,000. And then the other thing is that you can pull the dial up and then switch it back, and then you see the little window there, and then you can change the ISO that way. There's a different way you can set up a bunch of different tweaks on it, or function buttons, so you can switch the ISO and the aperture and of course the The aperture, you can switch it right here, but you can switch the shutter speed up on the dials, or you can change the ISO on the back too. I like that. I don't like the exposure compensation right here because I move it too easily. But I think it's a fantastic setup. The good thing about it, which I think Sarah mentioned, is the little addition of the joystick.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, right here, which is you can change your focus point right here, and then you can push it to the left and the right. And when you have it in your eye, you can just do it right there and then just switch it. So you can pick exactly where you want to focus on. So I love that about this camera. I think it's fantastic what they do with the joystick, and I
Yeah,
can't
and
believe it took
I'm gonna
so long.
show. I'm gonna show real quick. I want y'all to see, if possible. I'm literally doing this by looking backwards. This is really hard. Can y'all see? Is this a good angle? Ew.
Yeah,
Almost.
there you go.
There it is. That's
Right there.
273 autofocus points, people, and that's 77 phase detection points. So this is a brand new focus system, which is supposed to help, especially with low light focusing. I've had some feedback from some customers of mine that have owned previous Fuji models and have experienced the same issues I've had as far as just locking on to a subject when there's very minimal light or a lot of backlighting and whatnot. And supposedly it's supposed to help quite a bit, which is...
No, yeah, go ahead, Eric. Oh, I thought you were jumping in.
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. So the cool thing with the joystick is you can move the focus point on it, and also you have the dial right here.
to make it
So
bigger.
so you have the joystick right here, and then you have the dial right here, and you can make it bigger or small right here with this dial, so you can fine tune where you focus it in, which is fantastic. I don't like that the screen is fixed, but they're going for the classic rangefinder kind of thing. So if you're gonna compose or anything, you should not do it with the screen. You
Right.
should compose on the viewfinder because that's what the fantastic
Juan, are you there? Oh no.
camera.
Ari, are you...
The difference between go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, it cut out. I didn't know where you were.
The difference on noise between the XT1 and the X Pro 2, I think the X Pro 2 is a little tiny bit better on noise. I shot a bunch of events with the XT1, and I can see a slight difference on it, but it's not something very significant. The
Would
X
you...
Pro 2 is, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, would you say you can see a difference in fidelity and sharpness at high ISOs? Because that was something
Yeah.
I noticed when I played with it during training. Is I put it up to 8,000, and yes, it's noisy at 8,000 ISO, but there was a lot. All my edges were still fine, which is something that on my XT1 starts to break down when I get up to like 4,000, 5,000, 6,400.
Yeah, and I do give that to the X Pro 2. I think they did a better job with the, jumping from the 16 to the 24. I mean, talking about the sensor, 16 megapixels from the XT1 to the 24 megapixels on the X Pro 2. I was afraid that they were going to miss the ISO. The ISO is going to be a lot better, which is I think it's a little bit better than the XT1. But it holds details very well when you look at the edge of the details, and then you might zoom in into what you want to see. So I think it's a great addition, to the Fuji thing. Anything else you want to add to the X Pro 2, Sarah?
Yeah, well, so there's a few more things. We have 2 card slots now. So this is they're really trying to get more pro shooters enticed with this, I think. Weather sealing, great low light focusing capability, 2 memory card slots. This is obviously a pretty desired feature for someone that's going to use this for events or weddings where you need backup or you want to split your RAWs and JPEGs. So that's nice to see. So yeah, and I'm sure most people are familiar with this if you're watching, but just in case you aren't, The viewfinder on this is optical and electronic. It's not just optical. So you can use it traditionally, or you can use it kind of, easy.
And the good thing about the optical one is that you can use it as a rangefinder. So you use
Right.
optical is you're pretty much looking through and you're seeing what you get. You have a little line that shows you. I don't think I can show you here. We're checking attention. Let's see. It is on, and then I switch to optical, and then I'm gonna try this. Let's see. Oh, where is the camera? Right there. I don't think you can see it. Let me try. Oh, no, it's not gonna work.
Nice black screen there.
Yeah, but anyway, you can see a square of white lines, and then you have a little room, like a rangefinder. You have a little room on the sides and on the top. So when you're shooting street photography, it's pretty awesome because you can have a leadway before somebody gets into your frame, and then you can just shoot on it.
Which I love.
So, yeah, which is
And
pretty,
they actually,
pretty awesome.
some people, I feel like some people don't know this, but you can actually, there's a magnification, and I don't, forgive me, I do not know what the magnification is, but say you are shooting with, like I was shooting with the 56, when I put that into optical, I have this tiny, tiny little white square to compose with and all this negative space around it. If you hold the lever to the right while you're in optical, it'll, a big old piece of magnifying glass will swing over, and it just makes it easier to compose when you have a telephoto lens.
Yeah, and I love that. It's I think it's the only camera on the market that you can be shooting an optical, and they get a little hint of an electronic
Yep. Which is nice.
little screen on the bottom that tells you if you're focusing correct or not, which I think is fantastic. I think Fuji, what they're doing and whatever they're gonna come out with is just such a classic, such an enjoyable camera to shoot on the street.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I use it for many things, portraiture and landscape and street photography, and it's a great camera. What else I like about it? The way it feels, the viewfinder, the weight. I don't think it is a heavier camera than the X-T1. I just bought a trigger for it just to try it with
You present?
Uh-oh.
and yeah, and I mean the Chinese ones, and they always work great with my cameras. I never had a problem with it, even though I'm shooting lately with the Ice Lights 2 from Westcott. But when I use the flash, I never had a problem with it. You just put the trigger on it, and then you can synchronize the camera and then get all the flash going. So never had a problem with it.
Oh, and one thing to also mention about this, and this was something they started, I believe, in the X100T, and the X-T1 got it in a firmware update. Electronic shutter up to 32 thousandths of a second. So, which is great. I mean, keep in mind that's effectively 1/10 of a second because it's scanning the sensor. So, don't be moving if you shoot with it, and don't make sure your subject isn't moving, because otherwise it'll be like, whoo, weird warp. But it almost acts like an ND filter if you want to shoot wide open and it's bright.
So how about the video on this camera? Ari, do you know anything about the video on this camera? It's a 1080p and that's it? That's all you can do?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really extensively tested it or anything, but I wouldn't shoot video on it. I mean, this would be like a camera that I would just, if I want to do street photography or portraits, or just everyday everything. I mean, I would use it for that. I don't think I would use it for video at all. That's where I would go to the.
So video, if you want to get cameras for video, then what would you get? Panasonic and Sony? Is that
yeah. I mean, I mean, that's like I shoot all of our videos on the A7R2.
Okay.
I mean, to me that's the best for my situation because I have ultimate resolution and excellent 4K video.
Yeah, and if you go to the website, the drinkandclick.com website, and then you look at the last three three post packs. That's one of the reviews that Ari and Sarah did on the X70 from Fuji, so you guys can see the detail on it and how good the Sony is doing the video thing. And I think Panasonic is doing a fantastic job on it too. I just
Yeah.
think they haven't got the seat in front of everybody to see what Panasonic can do. But people should keep in mind that Panasonic is leading with Sony the video and camera thing.
Yeah,
So
the
that
exciting thing about Panasonic and Sony is that they aren't really hesitating to give the people what they want. So, I
yeah.
mean, they're really loading them up with all the current features, and some professional features. They're bringing them to a consumer level and pricing them very competitively. So,
Yeah, and I think I need to get my hands more on some Panasonic cameras and then just get to know them a little bit better.
yeah,
If
we
it,
just did a review on their GX85. That's one I think you would really like because it kind of emulates a little rangefinder style camera too. It feels really
okay.
good.
Yeah, we can post that one tomorrow on the website. And if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and post it on the site. If you have any questions about the X Pro 2, I think it's a fantastic camera. I don't think you can go wrong with it. If you have the XT1, honestly, if you have the XT1 right now and then you're saying should I jump to the X Pro 2, I say X Pro 2 is fantastic. I mean, it's a classic camera. It's a rangefinder feel to it. It's a very good camera for street photography. Uh, but if Fuji's gonna come out with the XT2, then just wait to see what the XT2 offers. You never know if the XT2 is gonna come out with a 4K video, and then a little bit more features from the X Pro 2, which that you know.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, now that the X Pro 2 is out, I feel like there's a new kind of precedent with the technology that will probably eventually, I would imagine, see trickle
Yeah.
into the rest of the Fuji line. It's just a matter of when, you know.
Mhm.
That's what I
Even
would hope.
even though there is a reason why you guys can't keep the X Pro 2 in stock, right?
Everyone wants it.
Everybody wants it. It's a great camera. I mean,
It's not
what
even
of you
that we.
gonna want it?
Yeah, we order a ton of them, but people literally just walk up and they go, "Can I touch it?" Cool, I'll take one.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So,
and it's funny because it's not a 1,200 range dollars camera. It's a $1,700 camera, and people just get it on their hands, try shoot a few frames, and then say, "I take it."
yeah. There are a few little quirks I've noticed in this that are kind of cool that are very exclusive X Pro 2. Um, have you played with the digital split screen in the manual focus at all?
Yes, I
So
have.
they have a color one now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the digital split screen
Uh-huh.
until I tried this color one because the black and white just like interrupts how I'm thinking about my frame, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But so they have a color split screen now, so it's this kind of like it reminds me of looking through like my mom's old Minolta like SLT SLR,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And it literally does this whole number, but I still see my entire image because it's all color. There's not this black and white square interrupting my composition. So that was really
Yeah,
cool to find out.
for the people that don't is maybe younger than we are, and then whenever you go to manual focus, and then you get a little screen that actually lines everything up, so it lets you know that you are in focus.
Mhm.
So it's just a classic feel from your
I'm gonna just see
parents'
if I can demo.
camera. You grab and you go like, oh my God, this is an expensive camera, and it was like an Minolta, very old, Pentax, something really old, and then you're trying it, and then you're like, oh my God, this focuses and put everything together and it lets you know when it's in focus. So it's fantastic. You trying to find it on the X Pro too?
Yeah, here it is. I don't know if y'all can.
Yeah, you can see a little bit
It's
of
not
it.
really anything for me to point it at so you can see, but glare, I see it. You probably
Yeah.
can't see it at all, but there's basically a big square just going boop boop boop, which is cool. Um,
Yeah.
there's also they have a new grain feature. So they're like totally tugging at more heartstrings when it comes to like film. They have different levels of grain that you can add, which I think it's cool if you are an in-camera, like no edit after the fact kind of person. I I would probably add grain in post because you can't really take it back once it's there. But it's cool. I mean, I think it probably complements their new Acros film emulation well too, which is my favorite film, black and white film. I have like 4 bricks of Neopan 400 in my fridge because I bought it all when it got discontinued because it's my favorite thing ever. So kind of excited that they brought that back. I hope we see that in a firmware update for next T1 and X100.
No, the Acros is fantastic. I mean, I found a guy with you can probably see on his website. I think it's f16click.com.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy had the old settings. I think it's an X shooter, which is a Fuji shooter. But he has all his settings that he uses for the Acros and the classic chrome and all the other stuff. But it's fantastic. And he shoots weddings black and white on Fuji, and it's beautiful what he does with it.
Yeah, that's almost enough. I'm like, man, I want that. I want that film emulation. That's important.
So what else I like about the Fuji is they have the dual card slot, like that Sarah mentioned, and the cool thing is that you can just shoot RAW, and they have RAW recorded to one of the cards, and then JPEG with whatever mode you choose to record it on the second one, which is fantastic. Because if you don't want to deal with the pictures, you just give them the JPEG SD card, and then you keep the RAW, and then you can work on the RAW. But they have the JPEG images. So I think it's a good thing that they do. Then they added that to the X-Pro too. So it's a good balance on it. So I wanted to mention everybody, we had the last Drink and Click here in Austin was last week, and it was with Fuji and Olympus, and we were celebrating Precision Camera's 40th year anniversary. Jerry's getting old. So we're celebrating their stuff. We get a bunch of cameras away, and our website you can see some of the images from the event. And we give a bunch of stuff away. I think we give away 3 cameras or 2 cameras, a printer, a precision camera print, 20 by 24 metal print from Precision. What else we give away? I think that's all we give away. What we have coming up is the Drink and Click in Minneapolis, June 2nd, with Olympus. And we already have like 160 people RSVP for it. And I'm sure we'll get higher than that. Last time we were in Minneapolis, it was over 200 people. I think it was 207 people showed up to that event. We give away 3 cameras. So if you're in Minneapolis or you know anybody in Minneapolis, just go ahead and send the invitation to them. And if you go to the website, drinkandclick.com, you can see all the events on the event side of it, and just invite them over to it. In addition to it, we're gonna announce the winners from the last month challenge, which was past, present, and future. And I think I'm gonna try to share my screen for it. Let's see. Can you let me know if I'm doing this wrong and I'm showing some porn or something? All right. So I'm sharing the screen, and now my screen.
There she goes.
The screen is going crazy. All right, let me minimize that one.
That looks crazy.
All right, so this is Sarah and chat.
Me.
And all right, can you see something there?
Yes.
All right, so this is 3rd place, and it goes to Takawaka. I think we're getting an echo, aren't we?
No, you're fine.
Okay. And he's from Tokyo, Japan, and he is getting MuckFun account.
Ooh.
So congratulations, Tekawaka. And then all right, so we're going with the second place. It's gonna be Sonia Mueller. And then she's getting a Rocky Nuke ebook.
That's a cool picture. Is that double exposure, I wonder?
I think it might be
Reflection.
I think it might be double exposure because you can see the building in the back, you can see the S7 Samsung, which is pressing, and then 2018 there. Yeah, I think it might be.
Interesting.
And then we got first place, Jens Kaiser. He's getting a Malio account. So congratulations to James Kaiser.
Yay.
There you go. Which is a pretty awesome picture. You got the past, present, and then future. Germany chapters are so competitive, and they always get a lot of prizes on it. So let me go back to the window. There you go. Stop sharing.
By the way,
There.
for a drinking click, where are y'all's drinks?
Oh, my drink is right here. I'm drinking vodka and lemonade.
You have a Rudy's cup. I have a Mighty Fine cup.
What are you putting in that cup?
Well, I already drank that, so now I'm on to a vodka and a coffee mix
Ooh.
with some almond milk. It's pretty good.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's crazy. I got the double echo. Are you guys getting an echo on yours?
I don't hear an echo.
No, I don't hear any echo.
All right, so I'm gonna ignore that because I hear an echo, but I'm gonna ignore it. So we are.
Oh no.
It's like voices in my head with the echo. I know exactly. So I'm gonna contact the people that won the monthly challenge last month, and I will contact them. Oh my goodness. I will.
Take them out of yours while you talk.
Yeah.
I know exactly. There you go. All right, I'm gonna take them off so I don't hear the echo. So I'm gonna contact the people that won the challenge from last month tomorrow, and I'm gonna let them know what the codes and everything, how they're gonna redeem the prizes. And what we have coming up, we have a Drink and Click coming up next week in Austin, Texas. And we're probably gonna reach out to Precision Camera and see what camera we can take out. I heard that we're having a lot of demand for the Nikon's D500, and I think the D5 they might have one demo, but I don't know if they'll let me take it out because it's so expensive.
I don't know if we'll have one yet. We got a big shipment in today. They are shipping, but we still have pre-orders, so we got to fulfill those first. We don't even have one to play with. I don't even have one to play with. So, but we do have a D5. Although.
So if I can get a D500, then I'll get the D500, and if I can't, then I'll try to get a D5, and I will see if Jerry let me take it out. If he won't let me take it out, then I would just I need to keep it level, so I'm probably gonna go from D5 if I get denied, and jump straight up to the Leica Q, and then see if Jerry lets me take out a Leica Q. And then see if we get a lot of attention for that, just for people just to get a kick out of using a Leica and then shooting it around. So.
And the Leica Q is great. I love that thing. That's like, they nailed it with that camera.
I need to try it. I haven't tried it. I tried it in the store, but I think it would be awesome to take it on the street.
Yeah, yeah. The Sony and Nikon are both. We're gonna start feeling a lot of pain with shipments and prices. So if you're shopping for Nikon, I would buy in the next week because rebates are about to be a lot smaller and go away. So, and we probably won't see sales on lenses for a long time.
We have a question from Adam. And he said, earthquakes have wrecked Nikon supply chain, it seems. Nikon jank, rebates, etc. on account of that. I think I know Adam, so I think he's looking into the D500.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess I addressed it, and
Here,
everyone
I
else.
get the echo.
So
Go ahead, Sarah.
what? Yeah. No. The earthquake kind of screwed a lot of stuff up with some Sony factories and some Nikon factories. So we're gonna see some major slowdown in shipment and some price reductions not be so reduced anymore. So we're probably gonna feel it in about a month. It's gonna be.
I expect that. I think it's going to be very slow down and then see what you get. But you know, Adam, you know Ari and Sarah, so maybe you can, kind of give it the elbow and then drop $20 on the rug, and maybe you get the D500 faster. All right, guys. So we want to thank everybody for joining the Drink and Click show. We reviewed the X-Pro 2 Fujifilm camera, and I want to thank Ari and Sarah for joining us and co-hosting and then helping us with this review. And then don't forget to go to their site on YouTube, Precision Camera. You can find it if you search Precision Camera and Video, you'll find their channel, and then you can subscribe to it.
Yeah, our next video coming out is going to be the D5 and the D500, and it's probably going to be one of the more extensive videos we've done. We test autofocus and ISO pretty thoroughly, so one to look out for. Hopefully we'll have it up next week.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think once it comes out, I'm gonna share it on the website on drinkandclick.com. And I want to thank everybody. And this video is going to be available on YouTube on the Drink and Click channel, and then you can just watch it again or just take a look at it. And I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you next month.